I gotta give a shout out to my guy, Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso is having a heck of a month of June so far. You want to look at Pete Alonso's numbers in June? Well, here we go. Pete Alonso for the month of June, batting 349 with an on base percentage of 451, slugging 837. Yeah, he's been hit by a pitch 3 times. In that span, 6 home runs, 20 RBIs. This was a guy in Pete Alonso who, in spring training of last year, was offered a 7 year extension, but he felt he should have been offered more money. He declined. Had the 1 year last year. He had a down year by his standards. And granted, I have no problem with a player taking a chance on himself and betting on himself, but I can admit it backfired. Pete Alonso last season, 34 home runs, 88 RBIs. Now, mind you, he's at 63 RBIs right now. His current season totals, batting 298, 17 home runs, 63 RBIs. So he's 25 RBIs away from his total from last season. And we haven't even reached the All-Star break yet. Nonetheless, so Pete took a chance on himself. Didn't work out last season. However, he did save the season because in Milwaukee, he faced Devin Williams facing elimination. And what did he do? He hit a home run that took the Mets out of wild card weekend and put them into the NLDS. Pete doesn't hit that home run, the season's over, and who knows where Pete would have ended up. Pete Alonso, so far this season, as I said, batting 298, 17 homers, 63 RBIs, OPS of 982. If Pete Alonso can keep this up at this pace, I think he might have about 120 RBIs, possibly 130. I think, Pete Alonso, I mean, power, he hasn't hit for his power has decreased a little bit. I can see him finishing with 30 home runs. But the fact that he's 25 RBI away from where he finished last season, he's by far the Mets' most productive hitter with runners in scoring position. And I think we should give Pete Alonso the contract to keep him a Met for the rest of his career. This season proves that, yeah, he had one down year. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. Every player has a down year. I mean, we all love Juan Soto, but by his standards, he's having a down year this year. Pay Pete Alonso. Just pay him. If I'm David Stearns looking at Pete Alonso is 30 years old, right? He'll be 31 in December. I say just give him the 7 year deal or give him a 6 year deal. Now, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who was anticipated to be a free agent at the end of this season before the Blue Jays conceded and gave him what he wanted. He signed for that big contract. And if we look at that contract, Vladimir Guerrero got 500 million at 14 years. That's 35.7 million annual value. If I'm going to give Pete a contract, you know what? I say give him 7 years. He could DH once he gets older, take him out of the field. He'll be 38 by then. Give him 7 years. And I say if we want to give him the money, I'm okay with 246 million for the 7 years. That puts him at 35.1 million a year. Matter of fact, let's give him 245. by the 7. That's 35 million even. You look at Pete Alonso for his career, the man, and I'm not just saying this because, he's a friend of the show. He does the intro for the show every episode, but Pete Alonso's more than earned it. You look at his resume. He had that great historic rookie year in 2019. Then, I mean, let's look at the numbers. 2019, 53 home runs, 120 RBIs, rookie season, wins rookie of the year. 2020, the COVID shortened season, we're not going to talk about because 60 games, you can't really do that much. 2021, 37 home runs, 94 RBIs. 2022, 40 home runs, 131 RBIs. The year the Mets won 101 games. 2023, 46 home runs, 118 RBI, and a lost season. 24, meant to get to the NLCS. He plays a smaller role, 34 and 88. And as of right now, he has 17 and 63. Look at batting averages. Rookie year, 260. 2021, 262. 2022, 271. 2023, 217. 2024, 240. And 298 as of right now. Then you want to look at accolades the man has had. He's been an all-star in all but one season. He's been an all-star in 19, 22, 23, and 24. So even with a bad year last year, the man was still an all-star. Now, granted, he didn't make the all-star team in 2021, and there was no all-star game in 2020. So he was eligible for 5 all-star games and made 4. And again, rookie of the year in the National League, 2019, 4-time All-Star, and for what it's worth, 2 home run derby wins. Even though that's not indicative of your play on the field with your team, but it's 2 more trophies in his cabinet. Pay the man. Now I know Stearns doesn't like to spend money. He spent the boatload. He and Steve Cohen spent the boatload on Juan Soto, but Pete Alonso is going to be worth it. I'm just looking at the production. He is the most productive hitter in the lineup this year. Aside from last year, a year he was also an all-star, mind you, which should have also been an incentive to at least try to give the man some type of better deal than what you gave him this year. I mean, the numbers are speaking for themselves. If you want to look at rankings of where Pete Alonso ranks, as we pull it up here so I could give you guys the accurate take, his 298 average is 18th best in the league. His 17 home runs, he's tied for 9th. OPS at 982 is the 5th best in baseball, and his 63 RBIs are leading the league. What else does Pete Alonso have to do to earn the contract? Now, if you guys think I'm wrong, sound off in the comments and tell me that you don't agree, and then we could have a discourse. And if somebody makes some sense, I'll admit your take is better than mine. I have no issue with that. But I wholeheartedly, firmly believe Pete Alonso, if he can keep these numbers up for the next few weeks up until the All-Star game and into the dog days of summer, I think he and Scott Boras on one side of the table are going to sit down with David Stearns and Steve Cohen on the other side, and he should get the contract that will allow him to be a New York Met until the day he retires. I consider it a miracle that the Mets even brought Pete Alonso back. And there are some of you out there that didn't want this man on the roster. Oh, we can move Mark Vientos to first or sign 2 or 3 players and they'll give us the combined production that Pete would have been. It's an idiotic take, a stupid take. Get 2 to 3 players that'll give you combined what one man could give you. Are you nuts? If one guy can give me over 100 RBIs and 30 home runs, why would I want that out of spend money We're going to spend less money to get fringe players to do that combined. No, let the one guy give me that production. For people out there who don't like Pete Alonso, don't want him on this team, or feel he's not worth the investment. I mean, yes, Francisco Lindor is hitting this season. Yes, Juan Soto started off slow, but Pete Alonso, when those two had their slow starts to the season, Pete Alonso has been on since day one, since opening day. When a man has earned his keep, you give him his keep. And that's what I'll say about that. Pay the man, extend the man, and pay him, Stearns.